faster! They're right behind us! Keep going!
ADD, ADHD, bipolar, all these manic kind of people, they've been labeled something negative by some fake doctor.
I have ADHD.
No, you don't have it. You don't have any. You got gifts from God. And the doctor said, you have something we can't explain. Yeah, it's genius, punk. That's what that is, okay? This is a genius. I have the ability to be interested and curious about a lot of things, and the fact that you don't get that is your problem, not my problem.
Machiavelli identified 3 pillars that make this law devastatingly effective, and understanding each one will transform how you handle conflict forever. Pillar 1, the authority transfer. When you defend yourself, you automatically grant the other person authority to judge you. You're saying, your opinion matters enough that I need to change it. But think about what this means psychologically. You've just announced to everyone present that this person has the power to put you on trial. But when you stay silent, you force them to question their own authority to attack you. They start wondering, why isn't he responding? Does he not think I'm worth responding to? Is he so far above this that my words don't even register? This is what Machiavelli called the crown of silence, when your lack of response makes others question whether they have the right to challenge you in the first place. Pillar 2, the emotional imbalance. Defense is emotional. Silence is strategic. The person who stays calm while others lose control appears stronger, regardless of who's actually right. Machiavelli wrote, "The prince who never shows disturbance cannot be disturbed." But here's the deeper psychology. Humans are pack animals, and we instinctively follow the calmest person in the room during chaos. When you remain still while someone else is emotional, you automatically become the unofficial leader of any group watching the exchange. This isn't about being right or wrong anymore. It's about who commands respect through their presence alone. Pillar 3, the narrative. Flip. Here's the killer move. Your silence doesn't just protect you, it redirects all attention onto your attacker's behavior. Suddenly, the room isn't judging your alleged wrongdoing. They're judging their emotional outburst against your composed silence. The audience starts asking different questions. Why is this person so invested in getting a reaction? What do they gain from this? Are they always this aggressive? Your attacker has accidentally made themselves the subject of scrutiny instead of you. This is psychological jujitsu at its finest, using their own force to throw them off balance.
Every year, around this time of year, I think back to the years that I spent eating Thanksgiving in prison with those styrofoam trays, with the cold turkey, the plastic sporks, in a room full of men that were pretending that they weren't thinking about their families and missing their families every second of that day. Guys, if you're free today, if you're sitting with people that you love today, you are already blessed in ways that some people could only dream of. I'm grateful that God brought me through all that. I'm grateful that I made it out of crime with my life. I'm grateful that I made it out of crime without getting RICO'd for 15 plus years. I'm grateful that I can bring you these stories. I'm grateful for a second chance, and I'm grateful to sit at a table with real food, with real freedom, and real peace for maybe the first time in my life. If you're struggling right now, I've been there. Just keep going, because there's seasons to everything in life, and next year, at this time, your life can look completely different. I promise you. Happy Thanksgiving. Stay clean. Stay up.
So this is either really good dad stuff or really bad dad stuff. I'm not sure which, but my daughter has made her Santa wish list and she sealed it with a double sticker. So there's the snowman sticker that you see there, and then there's this piece of clear tape underneath it to tamper-proof the envelope, because she didn't let me or my wife see the letter to Santa. So I had to sneak the letter. I had to use our old CIA tools to get past the tamper-proofing that she put in there so I could read the letter. And I've got a picture of the letter, so now I can read what she wants for Christmas. And then I had to put it back in the envelope, and then I had to reseal it using more spy techniques to make it not look like it's been tampered with. So hopefully when you look at this, it looks pretty much, you can actually see the tape that she put on there as a double seal. But she learned that from us, and we have to outsmart her. But now I know what she wants for Christmas. So let me know, was that a good dad moment or a bad dad moment?
If a man has no friends, pay attention. If a man has no friends or a very small circle, don't get it twisted. That is not a red flag. That's a man who has mastered himself. A man without friends or a very small circle is a very, very secure man. He's learned that quality matters more than quantity, and he doesn't need an audience to validate his worth. His confidence comes from inside, not from the approval of others. He's not afraid to be alone because he knows his own strength. He is very selective with his energy and who he lets into his life. That is a good quality to have. He walks away from drama and gossip because he has built a peaceful life for himself and does not want to let that go. He doesn't need to be surrounded by people to feel complete. He's comfortable, he's grounded, he's steady, and he doesn't waste time on meaningless relationships. He knows that what he wants, and he doesn't waste time with it. So if you come across a man with very few friends or a very small circle, don't underestimate him. That's not loneliness. That is discipline, and he knows peace. It's not isolation. That is self-mastery, and men like that, they're the hardest ones to replace.
There is a clear hierarchy of authority. The Constitution holds ultimate power, defining limits and rights. The people's rights come next, explicitly listed as tools to hold government accountable. Government's implied powers exist only to carry out duties under that same Constitution and can't override it. So when both citizens and state agents claim implied powers, the people's rights always stand higher than the government's. Officer Pig's here with some truth bacon. Courts often twist implied powers to dodge what's clearly written in law, trapping people who don't know their rights. But your rights sit higher in the hierarchy, above any government's implied authority. If you or someone you know is facing the stake and want to learn the lawful way to fight back, drop Officer Pigs in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so we can keep exposing the truth, protecting your rights one case at a time.
Article 16 of the United Nations Torture Committee. The Institute for the Advancement of Human Rights and Justice is looking for volunteers and victims of family court trauma torture. And you can go to iaj.institute to fill out a complaint. Let me read to you Article 16 that fits criteria. So number one, it's two parts. Number one, each state party shall undertake to prevent in any territory under its jurisdiction other acts of cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment which do not amount to torture as defined in Article 1, which I've talked about already, when such acts are committed by or at the investigation of or at the consent or acquiescence of a public official or other person acting in an official capacity. In particular, the obligations contained in Articles 10, 11, 12, and 13 shall apply with the substitution for reference to torture of references to other forms of cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment. So, if family court was degrading, inhuman, or cruel to you, you can bring it into international law. So people have asked me, I'm in Massachusetts, I'm in Nebraska, does does this apply to? Yeah, international law is above what America is doing. It's above what the United Kingdom is doing. It's above what is Australia doing, because these ADR courts that are violating our constitutional rights are in each of those countries that I just listed. So yes, if something was cruel, if there was the letter of the law, not only did it violate your constitutional rights, but also didn't follow family law and then continued to be misapplied, it absolutely can go to the United Nations Torture Committee this October. So part 2 of this is the provisions of this convention are without prejudice to the provisions of any other international instrument or national law which prohibits cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment, or which relates to extradition or expulsion. So if you are interested, if there is anything cruel, inhuman, or degrading in your family court case, you are invited and welcome to report it to the Institute for the Advancement of Justice and Human Rights at iaj.institute. When you go there, it is best to have a printout of your court records so that you have the dates of everything that happened, and each date is a different complaint. And this is important because in the rules, it says that torture is illegal if it happens once, and if it happens more than once, it's like more and more exponentially bad. So every time you go to court and something unlawful happened to you, it makes it exponentially worse. So put it each as a different complaint. And if you can talk about how it was cruel, inhuman, or degrading, it helps the people that are processing it like already have the words in there. So if you read Article 1 and Article 16 of ohchr.org, or if you're working with like ChatGPT or something like that to help you, if you ask it to look up Article 1 and Article 16, and then you go through and tell it your story, and it fills out your story based on what's there, do you know what I mean? Based on the United Nations torture complaint and the dates of and the story of your thing, it can then go to the International Court for the United Nations Torture Committee. I'm Dr. Lauren Pichard with Ascension Psychology, and if you need any kind of spiritual or energetic psychological support, I have a $20 1-hour Power Hour healing to help get out stuck trauma, stuck pain and suffering from this. You go to ascensionpsychology.com/restoration.
So harassment is a crime, and doxing is a form of harassment. So yeah, I mean, doxing is releasing otherwise confidential information about an individual for the purpose of essentially inviting others to harass them. Harassment legally is defined as any behavior that serves no legitimate purpose but to harass, annoy, alarm, and intimidate. So like any definition that has the same word in its definition, it's a little fuzzy and subjective. Harassment is defined as any behavior that's harassing, basically. So what is harassment? Well, you know it when you see it. It's behavior that serves no purpose but to upset somebody. So harassment is a crime, and doxing is a form of harassment, but it's also its own individual category now because releasing people's confidential information is a problem.